Hello, my name is Brandon, and I am going to tell you about the history of automobiles.
The Cugnot steamer was the very first self-propelled vehicle. This was made by Nicholas Joseph Cugnot. The Cugnot steamer was made for war by hauling large artillery. In 1886, Carlos Benz patented a motor wagon called Benz Patent Motor Wagon. Carlos Benz was the first person to file a patent for a gasoline-fueled automobile. On July 22, 1894, a magazine organized what's considered to be the world's first car race. The race was 127 kilometers long, and it was from Paris to Rouen. Oldsmobile was a brand of automobile produced by General Motors. It was founded by Ransom E. Olds in 1897. In 1901, the company had produced 425 automobiles, making it the first high-volume manufacturer. The Ford Model T can be known as Tin Lizzie and many more names. This car was produced from September of 1908 to May of 1927. Ford was generally regarded as the first affordable automobile manufacturer. In 1913, Ford had developed the techniques of assembly line and mass production. Ford introduced the assembly line that same year. Before the assembly line, it took 12.5 hours to assemble an automobile, but now it took 93 minutes. The first luxury cars started to appear around 1920. Some examples of automobile manufacturers were Bugatti and Mercedes-Benz. These automobiles were for wealthy people. The first stretch limousine was created in Fort Smith, Arkansas, around 1928 by a coach called Armbruster. These were often called big band buses. After 1930, the number of auto manufacturers had decreased sharply because of the Great Depression. Companies like Franklin Automobile went out of business. In 1939, the Nash Motor Company adds the first air conditioning system to their cars. The Packard Motor Company has sold an automobile with air conditioning for $274. During World War II, the U.S. Army wanted an all-terrain vehicle, so the Jeeps were invented. General Dwight D. Eisenhower said, "America couldn't have won the war without the Jeep." In 1945, Ralph Teeter, who was blind, created what is now known as cruise control. Cruise control is sometimes known as speed control or auto cruise. The airbag was invented by John Hetrick in 1951. He came up with this to protect his family. In 1960, the first effort at controlling pollution from cars was a PCV. By 1964, most new cars were equipped with a PCV.
Sports utility vehicles were originally from commercial and military vehicles like the Jeep. This term was first used by Toyota in 1960. In 1978, the first anti-locking brake system was developed for automobiles. This had appeared in automobiles made by Mercedes-Benz. These brakes allowed the driver to maintain steering and shorten braking distances. In 1992, people were encouraged to use alternative fuel vehicles. This refers to vehicles using gasoline or diesel. In 1997, car manufacturers knew that oil reserves would run out. Honda and Toyota introduced gasoline/electric hybrids in the U.S. at 2002.
Electric cars are made because it could end the dependence on fossil fuels. These days, plastics and a lot more stuff require more fossil fuels.
In the future, people are most likely going to try to use alternative fuel vehicles. Here are some car logos. Here are some more. Here's the fastest car in the world, a Bugatti Veyron. It can go up to 267 miles per hour.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and I told you about the history of automobiles. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.